Oh, hey, how's it going, everyone? How you doing tonight, today, wherever you're from, this beautiful world? I'm on the moon. It's made of cheese. All right, so the intro has already been. I already said how you guys doing. So yeah, welcome to Beer and Cheese Tuesday. Got a late start today. Got off late from work, so that's just the way it goes. But I want to say thank you to the panel members for being here. Cheers to Bumpy Road Brews and Art by Sparkle. This is Lori Finzer. All right. Good to have you guys as always. Cheers to Simo Sups. Just showed up. Cheers to you, buddy. All right. And everyone else that comes on in. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Let's go ahead and start it off with the show and tell part. And hey, I don't know you. All right, let's go ahead and bring Bumpy up first. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Now, the cheese that I'm bringing is a Welch cheddar cheese from Abbey Farms. It's imported from Great Britain. Powerful Welsh cheddar, extra sharp. Let's see if we get any age statements or anything like that. It says made from the finest Welsh cow's milk. Abbey Farms powerful Welsh cheddar brings together a premium cheddar with incredible depth, with a slightly sweet taste and a firm and smooth body. This delicious Welsh cheddar is perfect on a cheese board, melting or shredding. Melting or shredding or chunking. So this is what it looks like. I cut it up. I mean, it was a kind of a dry, crumbly type of a cheddar, which is nice. I do like British cheddars. I've never really had an issue with any cheddars coming from either England or from like Ireland or whatever. They've been kind of the cheddars that I prefer. They do have that kind of there's like a sweetness, but there's that kind of that tangy sharpness that they also exude. This beer that I'm bringing to pair with it is a double IPA. Now, I was on Alex's stream there earlier, and I'd asked, should I do a double IPA or should I do a robust porter with this? And it was kind of, do a double IPA. So Dan may already know what this beer tastes like. It comes from Kettlehead Brewing Company. It's the Escalator style. Comes in at 8% ABV. They don't disclose what hops that they use on the can, so Dan probably knows because
it's all mosaic, baby.
All mosaic, okay. And it says,
nice.
"Hey, buddy." And this is only a couple weeks old. It was canned on February 5th. So I'll pour it.
It's got all the different mosaics in it.
All the mosaics?
Cryo.
It's got the mosaics from the north and the east and the west and the south.
It's like Game of Thrones, mosaic style.
So that poured with an Alex type of a head, half the glass. It's frothy white. And the color of the beer itself, I'm going fuzzy. Not cool, Logitech. Not cool at all. Anyways, it's a bit of a brighter kind of lemon orange coloration. It is a hazy, not quite milky, not completely murky, but it's got a deep haze to it. And there's some floaty particulates I can see. It's brighter than what's showing up on camera right now. So you just have to have the lighting hit just right, and my camera went fuzzy, so.
Darn it. Well, that looks like a good beer, though. Good Lord.
I'm back. All right.
Come on.
So
There you
yeah,
are.
we'll get into what I pick out of this thing and the cheese and see how they pair.
Cool.
Why don't you back around to me?
Thank you, Bumpy. Okay. And on to the next person. Cheers. We got Sparkle here. And cheers to Dan again and Eric. Thank you for being here. Cheers.
Hi, guys. Hello, everybody. I've had this cheese before, but I had to use up some cheese because, you accumulate it. This is my Fiscalini craft beer cheddar.
Nice.
And I'll just show you what it looks like on my little board here. It feels nice and creamy. It feels like it's going to be, and it's been a little while, so I don't remember exactly what I said before. So it looks like it's going to be nice and creamy. Now, for the beer, I have Belching Beaver Outside Your Mind.
What?
Ooh.
And I have to
outside
admit,
your mind. I thought you said outside your mom. I'm like, what?
outside your mind. And I have to admit I was drawn to the can. What can I say? It's a hazy double IPA. So let's see. We'll give it a pour. Like that sound, right?
Bad mind.
Okay, here we go. Probably should have done it to the side. Oop, oop, oop. Stop. Well, that's certainly okay. That takes my whole hand. I should have poured it down the side. It's got right. It's got a beautiful, pretty much a little translucent, nice yellow, orangey, yellow lemony color, and definitely frothy, lacy. And we'll see how much this calms down.
All right. You're not going to have a headache in the morning, that's for sure.
This is 8.3% with 100 IBU.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks, Sparkle. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. We got Dan next. See what he's got.
Okay, so I'll show you my cheese, but then I got to have some panel participation.
Ooh.
So for the cheese, I got it's a dill Havarti cheese.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been on a real pickle kick lately. So I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool.
It is good.
So panel participation. I couldn't decide what beer to do this with, and I really don't know what it'll pair good with. I guess we'll find out. But so I can either do Omegang, the Rare Voss Amber Ale. It's a Belgian amber ale with orange peel and coriander, or I can do cold IPA, 6.2%, and it's old school kind of cold.
6.2 might
So,
work well.
I don't know, whatever one you guys think you want to see with the dill Havarti.
Oh, I think the rare.
That amber might do some justice though too.
I'm thinking since it has that coriander in it,
Yeah.
goes nice with dill.
Go for it. It's a 6.5 or 8.5?
6.5.
Oh yeah. Give that a shot.
Okay, cool.
Do it.
Pop her open. So this is from Omegang Brewing Company. They're out of Cooperstown, New York. And like I said, this is their amber ale with orange peel and grains of paradise and coriander. So it's kind of weird. So they call it a Belgian amber ale, but then like if you look on Untapped, it classifies it as a Belgian pale. But then on Beer Advocate and their own website, it's a Belgian amber ale. So I don't know. Guess we'll figure it out.
Looks like an amber.
Gorgeous. Ooh, that's pretty.
Nice.
Yeah, so definitely got some nice carbonation bubbles rising there, and nice little head on it, nice color. So yeah, we'll dive into it, see what's what. Thanks for the help. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks, Dan.
Yes.
I
All
would
right.
have. I would have gone with the grow.
I was thinking the IPA would be a good
You were
choice.
silent. Maybe I'll do both. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll just
Oh,
find out.
we didn't
Hell
say it wrong.
yeah. All right. So thanks, Dan. Cheers. On to Eric. Let's bring Eric up. All right.
Right. Hello, everybody. I got a store brand of cheese from a grocery store chain here in New England called Big Y, and it just said on the packaging of the Big Y, it had a label that said blue cheese, Danish blue cheese from Denmark, and it didn't tell you where exactly it was from. So I cut some of that. Nice.
Nice.
It looks kind of on the green side of that blue turquoise kind of color there. Nice.
Love blue cheese.
And I'm going to pair a blue cheese with another thing that's sort of local to me. From I gifted Tanner one of these when I saw him over the weekend as well. From, I think this says the 27th of November 2023, from Foolproof Brewing Company here locally in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. This is their barrel-aged Reverie Russian Imperial Stout at 9.4% ABV.
Ooh.
12-ounce.
Right.
We'll see if blue cheese and Imperial Stout go together. Sources point towards that. It's a pretty good pairing. Not a large head, but there she goes into the glass. Bam. Nice. We'll see how she goes.
Pretty beer.
Nice.
Very nice. Cool. Thank you, man. Thanks, Eric. Cheers. All right.
Yes.
So let's bring up the fucking host of the show, Mirror Man, Cheese Man. All right, so let's go with the beer first. Oh no, I gotta get it. Hold on. All right, so they didn't have a Dubel for the cheese I wanted. I wanted to do a Dubel, but they didn't have one, so I just went ahead and got the Wersteiner Dunkel, and it's 4.8%. Only $3 for the bottle, but God, I'm on it today, aren't I? Let me tell you. Improper glassware, probably more than likely. Everything is bad today. It's been a crazy day. But this is what is it, an 11 point something? Yeah, 11.2.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ounce bottle.
It's so skinny, skinny and tall. But yeah, that's a nice looking brown looking Dunkel there. Haven't had this one, so kind of a little reddish hue to it. That's nice. And I'm gonna have this with an aged Havarti.
Ooh.
I had a hard time. It said that there was like 5 different beers that would go well with this, but not an aged one. So it was just straight up Havarti, and this is like way hella like it's like almost like a cheddar. It's got like a nice aged cheddar kind of look to it. So it's really stinky. So hopefully that'll work with a nice bready beer. But all right, so let's go ahead and let's start this off with Bumpy. Let's get our reviews going. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. So we got this kettle head, the excavator, escalator, whatever style. All mosaic popped, I guess, at 8% ABV. The aroma's on it. It is a pineapple, mango, berry, not blueberry, but berry. Slightly sweet. Smelling nose. It smells like a lot of kettlehead beers. Now, there's probably not many people on this panel that would understand what I'm talking about, except for Dan. But you start to like notice there's like this. It smells like a kettlehead beer. It's like they got like a base or something that they just use. Not bad though. Let's dive on in here. Cheers.
Nice. Cheers.
It's like a medium to medium full body on this one. Carbonation is lower than like a medium carbonation, like a moderate carbonation. It seems to be a bit lower than that. I'm not sure if that's to try to make it seem like it has more of a creamy mouthfeel. It is a drying palate left with this one, or a dry palate left with this one. And the aromas, it smells like it's going to be like more bolsterous with those fruit tones on the palate, and it's not. It's like a thin flavor. There's like a little bit of a sweetness. I mean, the malt, it just comes through as like there's malt in there. Maybe more on the kind of crackery to wheat side than anything. There's not a lot of flavor coming out of this. Like I can kind of say, yeah, there's like a kind of mango, slight kind of like pineapple type thing. That's kind of it. It goes towards earthy tone, so maybe a papaya as well, because that's kind of where I'm getting on the finish. It kind of starts to turn a little bit earthy. Bitterness is mild to moderate. It's not like super bitter. Doesn't really have like a big lasting bitterness. So, maybe I've got to wait, because it's an escalator. So maybe I'm at the bottom right now, and I just gotta wait to get to the top. I don't know. There's just there's not a lot of flavor in this one. It's not like it's bad. It's just it's not like the nose. The nose is misleading in this one. Usually it's the opposite. Sometimes it's like, oh, then you drink it and you're like, wow, the flavors are at least different or there from the from what the nose comes off. But all right, let's do the cheese. Righteous.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Bumpy.
It's a nice smelling cheddar. There's a sweetness to it. There's a bite. It smells like a little bit like champagne. But yeah, it's like buttery champagne, sweet. And you can kind of tell there's gonna be like a little bite to it when you eat it. So blowing out my teeth.
All right. Cheers.
Crunchy bits.
Oh, good. I like the crunchies.
It kind of melts. They did say melting, whatever, on that thing too. It does kind of melt in your mouth. It is very drying, but it does melt real easily. So I think it is kind of a crumbly cheese, because when I was cutting it, it kind of made crumbles. It breaks pretty easy. Kind of brittle. It's very fruity, champagne-like. It's got a sharp bite. It's like more like a Vermont sharp. A little bit of grassiness in it too. I'm not sure, like they all these like English, like the state. I don't know. Sometimes they may do it here too. But it's all about like what the cows eat. Like the cows are from here. It's like, of course they're from there. But it's like, I don't know. Is it really like what they're eating? Like the grass? Is it that much different that makes this cheese that much different? Or is it just, I don't know. There's something about like just cheese from Europe, like cheddar cheeses, that just is different from like a lot of the cheeses that are here in the States. I feel there is that kind of sweetness to a lot of them, but there is also that kind of bite that they seem to have. And they nail the flavor crystal thing. They call them flavor crystals. It's not really flavor crystals, but that crystallization within the cheddar. It happens more often than not in like a European cheddar than what I find in a lot of American cheddars. It's a nice sharp bite. It's fruity champagne. It does have a slight butteriness, a slight sweetness, crunch. It engulfs the mouth. It melts. It goes all over. It's got that cheddary, just twang to it. It's a damn good cheddar. Let me do the da. That's all, folks.
Terroir. Yeah. Terroir. Cheesers. Chabeers.
Beers.
And Chachanners. Chichanner. Hi, Tanner.
Hello, Chichanner.
The cheese spikes up with beer. It brings out, kind of starts to do this kind of like lemon lime, like it starts to do like fruity pebbles to the beer. Basically, it brings out sweetness. There's a malt sweetness. It makes the beer taste better, and then it comes back and punches through that champagne, that bite. This cheese is strong, so it lifts the beer up. It does that escalator thing for it. And then the cheese just says, "Okay, enough of you, beer. I'm back." It's a good like it's a nice mix that way. Really works well with this beer. Let me drink the beer now and then eat some cheese, and we'll move on. So cheesers again.
Cheesers. There's Jeff.
Beers. For cheese.
Bon appetit cheese.
Bon appetit cheese.
I get what you're spraying.
Ew.
I mean, it's not as good as doing it the other way around. Eating the cheese first and drinking the beer. The beer just by itself, it really doesn't have it doesn't have a ton of flavor by itself. And then the cheese, once you put the cheese in the mouth, it makes my mouth happy. It's like yummy. Yeah, this is just the cheese is like God.
No,
Wow. That sounds good. But it's taken over the beer. Is it like you don't get the flavor of the beer, it's just kind of like gone.
There's not a lot of flavor to the beer. The cheese helps assist with bringing out flavor in the beer.
Yeah.
But when you drink the beer first, it's you get a little bit of, like I said, like a crackery to like wheat type flavors from the malt.
Mm-hmm.
There's some type of fruitiness to it, but it's not screaming pineapple, it's not screaming mango, it's not screaming berry. Like when you get, when you smell it,
Right.
it's like diluted on the flavors for some reason. But the cheese was able to amplify this other kind of sweetness. I'm not sure if it's the sweetness from the cheese, just kind of doing whatever, but it gave it that kind of fruity pebble factor.
Right. What was the ABV on that again?
8%.
Wow, and not much flavor.
Pretty standard. Kettlehead, a lot of Kettleheads, double IPAs are 8%. That's why I think that they kind of just have a base beer that they just do, and then they just change hops.
Right.
Versus like creating a new beer, because they make a lot of like every single week you go and they get another beer made.
Right.
So
Okay.
they are putting out a lot of different double IPAs, but they're all 8%, except for the ones that are 7.9%.
Oh, a point under. And that's mosaic. That's a single hop mosaic. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Cool,
And
man.
that very well may be like they're different beers. It could be just like a single hop series almost. You know what I mean? They just kind of like, oh, well, this one's Citra. This one's Mosaic. This one's got Vic Secret in it. This one's got, you know, they just do different names, but they're all 8%. Because there's a lot of brewing companies that do that they do the different hop thing.
Well, that's the only way to, all these beers have like so similar flavors. It's like, let's just like do one hop. I think Bill said it best is I just like the single hop beers because you get one hop and you know exactly what that hop tastes like in that beer. And it sucks when there's no flavor in that though, where it's just not coming out.
I mean, like, it's not a disgusting beer. I thought that was going to be packed with more flavor than what it is.
All right. Cool, man. Well, thanks, Bumpy.
I don't know if Dan's drank this beer yet or not. Maybe I've
have you had that?
I mean, when time permits and it's maybe off air or something, I'll let you know what I thought. And
cool.
Just real quick though, what's interesting about that beer though is just overarching. It's got so many different forms of mosaic in it, which bring out different things in the beer, which is odd that it came off how it did. But,
All right. Well, cool, man. Look at that lacing. All right. Thanks, Bumpy. Cheers, brother. Yeah, that's got a big spatter of lacing. Cheers. We're gonna go ahead and get on to looks like cobwebs in the glass. Sparkle, you are next. We're gonna bring you up now. Cheers.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Bump.
I did have to add a little more because when all the suds were gone, I only had like this much beer in there. But there's still, you can still see, I mean, it was lacing all the way around. So you can still see some of it. Yeah, I think I'll do the cheese first though. Okay, here we go with the cheese. Now this has somewhat of a bendable quality before it breaks. Wow. I mean, that creaminess is right there forward. It's not a strong cheddar smell. The creaminess just sort of takes over. But, I think that's okay. Like I said, not a very mild cheddar. So let's just give it a taste.
Tasters.
Yes.
Yeah.
It actually has a little bit of a beer flavor.
Wow.
And I'm not sure why.
Beer cheese, right?
But kind of a hoppiness. Very mild cheddar, very creamy, milky, very smooth on the tongue, not cloying at all. And leaves a sweetness on the tongue, actually, after it's gone. Yeah, not at all disturbing. I mean, it's very gentle. It's a very gentle cheese. I can imagine it going with a whole lot of things, and hopefully it'll go with this beer. But
awesome.
Yeah, it's delightful. It's a very nice all-around cheese. I can see it going with many, many things, many cocktails.
Nice.
Because it's not overpowering.
Was it a spendy cheese? What did you pay for that cheese? What did you pay for the cheese?
I think it was like $7.89 maybe.
That's not
bad. It
bad.
wasn't bad. I got it at Safeway outside of Tombstone.
Oh, great. Okay.
And it really wasn't, it wasn't a bad price. I got several cheeses then. And I like this one a lot. They had a couple other ones that were the Fiscalini. And, this one is good. I like it. I got it because it said craft beer cheddar.
Yeah. Good. Awesome.
Okay, now here we go with this. Beautiful coloring. Totally love it. Not totally opaque. Wow. Papaya.
Nice.
Oh,
Papaya. Mango. Definitely citrus. I think there's some stone fruit creeping in there, actually. And I happen to love stone fruit, so we can get it here.
me too.
And it doesn't smell real hoppy. It has a gentle fragrance, kind of like maybe a creaminess, hopefully, Alex. Just to say. It really it smells quite, I mean, fruity. So let's just see.
Nice. Cheers.
Mm,
Slancha.
wow. That is zesty, very fruit forward, especially orange juice. Mild carbonation. Kind of a thick mouthfeel because it has all of that incredible fruitiness. But there is a creaminess. It's a very creamy smooth. It blends all together so that not one thing really stands out on the taste. It's not boozy at all. Slightly hoppy, but definitely not boozy. There's some underlying maltiness to this, but definitely, citrus forward for sure. Um, Kind of a zest, like a lemon zest, orange zest, slight bitterness, but that's from the zest, and leaves kind of a sweet aftertaste, which is nice. Drink all on the panel. Maybe, I don't know. The Spiggy, you're a riot.
I think so. I think so.
I have been known. Okay, so I'm going to try the cheese before beer. I got to switch hands. Hold on.
Chub beers.
Before I drop that beer, I better change hands.
Cheese slurp slurp.
It took some of that zestiness away. You still can taste the cheese. It calmed down that zestiness a little bit. It calmed down a little bit of the carbonation, which wasn't great anyway. Seemed to blend pretty well, actually. Some of the happiness is gone, not totally, but calmed that down a little bit. So I'm going to take a bigger piece and try the beer before cheese.
Right. Mischief. Mischief.
Mischiefs.
Mischief. Yeah.
It's the longest word in history, beer man.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Mischief.
You first taste all of that I did with the beer when I just did the beer. And then the cheese comes out. So the cheese is more forward. It still blends nicely. I think I like the cheese before the beer only because it sort of evens it all out. It doesn't shoot that cheese forward. But it's still a pretty nice blend. I like it.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Right. Cheers. Cheers,
Sure.
Sparkle. All right. So we're going to go ahead and let's bring up FLX. Bring up Dan. Cheers.
All right. Beer's been sitting here for a while. Let's froth her up and see what she's got going on.
Boy, that's red.
Yeah, it's like super like just really dark red. Kind of lean into like penny territory.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, you definitely get those fruity esters that you tend to get with the Belgian styles. There's almost like a subtle, like pleasant spruce to it, which is a little odd, but like a pleasant spruce with like a hint of like it's gonna sound super odd too, like leather, like football
All right.
kind
Yeah.
of thing going on. But it's definitely fruity. It's got a nice spice. You could definitely smell like those sweet, like sugary kind of components to it. Man, it totally reminds me of just like Saint Bernardus, just like that huge pop you get off their App 12.
Oh,
But then you get kind of like the red ale aspect, like the amber ale kind of deep dark, kind of smoky malt a little bit. When I say smoky, it's just like a touch, just like
Yeah.
All right, cheers.
Nice. Cheers.
Cheers.
So,
So the nose definitely carries through on the taste, but the taste is like really sweet, like really just sweet malts, and then you almost get a little like plum, like that kind of like dark plum kind of raisin thing, and then you get a nice follow up of like a bitter bread, and it's kind of drying at the same time. And like the drying is really just button heads with that sweetness. Definitely get that orange citrus too. Like on the back end, after you sit there and just let it chill, do its thing, get the orange citrus kind of clovey thing. Yeah, this is very good. Very good. I could definitely see myself wanting a couple of these, but I don't really do Belgians a lot. So it's like a different kind of road for me. So
me too.
now I'm getting a little nervous because we'll see. We'll see what happens with the cheese, but I'm getting nervous based on that flavor profile. With like I'm thinking about like dill and stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
The best part.
So yeah, the cheese. I like what Sparkle did, the bend test. So yeah, it's soft. Kind of wants to flake apart a little bit, but it's still there, you know. Definitely got dill throughout.
Oh yeah, sure does.
Whew. That's like, it's like opening up a jar of pickles, but you got this really buttery, like, just like nutty component. I don't know if you have you guys ever had like dill pickle pizza?
oh yeah.
And
No.
they use that, so generally they use like I don't know, like a white garlic sauce.
Yep.
With that,
Oh,
but
wow.
it's like infused with like bread and butter pickles, and like some people do all kosher, some people do bread and butter, some people do the hybrid.
Have you
But I'm
ever
kind of
had
getting that because you kind of get that
Kind of.
real butteriness of that garlic bread, but like you get the cheese melted on top. So yeah, let's dive into it. Cheezers.
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 Super soft, like really soft and just creamy, just kind of melts away on the tongue. And then that dill just takes over. Like the dill is just there. It's just there to stay. It's not going away. which is really awesome. There's a little saltiness to it, and I can't tell. Yeah, it works. Like it's good cheese. So this cheese is actually an Aldi brand cheese.
Mhm.
I didn't go like real fancy, but I kind of want to look for other dill cheeses to see what happens. Dill Havartis,
Mhm.
but this is really good. Like if you enjoy pickles or just dill in general, I think you really love this. So it's more of like, think of like a fresh pickle,
Mhm.
right? The ones you keep cold, stay fresh, or the ones you make yourself. You put the whole thing of dill in there, you know. That's kind of what it's like. So let's chew on this and we'll wash her down.
All right, Chub beers.
Yeah, beers.
Beers. Can I get the country of origin on that, please?
The initial taste, it's a really unique kind of adding like that dill and the cheese itself, the Havarti, the buttery smoothness, the nuttiness, the just overall cleanness of the cheese goes great with the beer. The initial dill with this adds this little like funky pop because you get that orange and like the coriander and everything. That worked, but the beer washed it away, 100%. Like it took over. The beer is very powerful. I think with this cheese, at least on this aspect, maybe a lighter beer or maybe the IPA. Maybe off air, I'll check out the IPA. But all right, let's do beer and then cheese.
Beers, Chet.
Beers.
Beers. What?
Yeah.
I didn't even touch on for 6.5%. Their body is kind of full for this. The mouthfeel is moderate carbonation, but still silky enough. All right. Much better that way. You almost can't detect any of the dill for the majority of, taking down the cheese after the sip of the beer. It's just the cheese kind of encompasses and just matches everything. But then right on that back end, then you get that pop of the dill. So it's like, it definitely switches your palate. You're ready for something different, and it definitely achieves that.
Could you taste the coriander in the beer?
100%.
And
Yeah.
did they work? Did it work with the dill?
To a degree. I mean, it works, but I can't really tell because it's, like I said, it's, if you eat the cheese first and then the beer, it just completely just washes it away.
Right.
And then you drink this beer and then eat the cheese. You don't get the full aspect of what the flavor of the cheese is bringing
Got it.
until the very end. So like
Got
that brief second that they come together, it's a pretty decent and kind of peculiar thing, but it works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to open up that IPA and
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
off air or
See how it
something.
works. Yeah.
See what it does. But
I am
either
curious.
way, I'm glad
Nice.
I tried it. I think
Yeah.
I would never would have tried this any other way.
Wow.
But I will say, if I'm going to make a pickle pizza, I'm going to shred some of this someday.
Pickle
Yeah.
beer.
Beers, right? I want a pickle pizza. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Oh my
anchovies
goodness.
on it. I like anchovies.
Dude, we had a pickle pizza on Super Bowl. There's a food truck. The guy lives down the street from us, and they were selling for Super Bowl Sunday.
Never.
So we picked one up.
Thing.
It's just been in our heads ever since. Can't get out. I'm like, pickle this. I need pickle
Yeah.
everything.
I've never heard of such a thing. All
right.
Nice. Well, thanks, Dan. Cheers, bro. All right. Cool, man. We're going to go ahead and get on to Eric. Mr. Legendary Thomas Miller 75, Massachusetts Beer Reviews.
Oh, hello. All right, so I got the funky blue cheese. Danish Blue, and also known as Dan Blue, I believe. It's supposed to be pretty bold flavors as far as blue cheeses are concerned. I saw some, I forget where the website was, but described it as being more on the stronger pungent side of things. So interesting. I don't really know, again, like I said, I don't really know much about the cheese other than it says it's a Danish Blue coming from Denmark, and it had the brand Big Wise grocery store chain on it. I think the block that I got was like $5.39. I was like, heck yeah, give me that. So the cheese itself, and if anybody forgot here, I'm doing this from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, the Foolproof Brewing Company's barrel-aged Reverie Russian Imperial Stout at 9.4% ABV. We'll see how that goes. I guess I can do the beer first. Sure, why not? It's a beer program.
Sure is pretty.
All right, this is the last of the 4-pack that I got. I gave East Coast Liquor Reviews Tanner when I saw him on Saturday, one of these beers. So there's some chocolatey notes. There's a dark cherry kind of a note, definitely. There's something marshmallowy, or I guess that's the way to put that. I wanted to say vanilla, but sort of marshmallowy. Milky. That's maybe more what I'm getting there than the marshmallow. Maybe that's like the thing, the lactic sweetness. I think that's it. Yeah. Not really dark chocolate as much right now. I think it will get more dark chocolate as it warms up. Not a lot at 9.4, which you can tell that it's a sweeter, bigger bodied beer for sure. Let's give that a little taste. I'm not getting a bunch of, I'm really getting a bunch of the barrel at all, but let's see it in the taste.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Skull.
Beer. Not my favorite barrel aged stuff.
Aw.
It's got more of a cherry, I don't want to say sour flavor. That's not the word I'm looking for. Much better on tap when I was at that brewery a few weeks ago. It's got a cherry, almost like a, not a Belgian funky thing, don't get me wrong, but there's this tartness of cherries that really is predominant in the beer, and it overshadows some of the nicer barrel and chocolatier notes, unfortunately. There's a little bit of a sugary complexion towards the end of the sip. It gets pretty thin at the end of the sip. It is pretty drinkable for what it is. It does drink like a bigger export stout, like a Guinness Horn Extra or something like that. Yeah, let's get into the cheese, shall we? Not the most exciting beer, but maybe the sum of their parts will make something worth a while and substantial. All right, I'm gonna use a toothpick and grab some cheese.
There you go.
This is crumbly style. Well, it's not the most. We probably all have had blue cheese. It's not the most firm cheese in the known universe at all. It definitely had a little bit of a crumbly consistency when I cut it off the block, so therefore it does come out in these kind of chunk-looking pieces. There's definitely a lot of funk to this cheese. Definitely getting a salinity to it right off the bat. I'm definitely getting the tart, funky element, the barnyard, the horse blankety kind of a note to it. It's definitely earthy. Yeah, there's definitely just a nice funk and salinity to it, and salty complexion. So let's give that a taste of cheese.
Cheers.
From Big Way.
Cheers.
Super much.
Cheesers.
Cool.
Bingo.
I think you've had ghosts in your house, dude. I just saw a white stream light go past you. That was weird. All right, sorry. That's weird.
So once I started really chewing into that cheese, and then the cheese opened up, and I got one of those, I know, mold pockets, if you will. There was a big blast of salinity and brine that kind of came out, almost like a really salty, like an olive briny kind of a deal there. Nice and creamy. It's just big and bold and unapologetic. That salty olive kind of a brine deal. It's tart. It's funky. There's a little bit of There's a little bit of I don't even know how to describe it, but I could feel that zestiness as I swallowed the beer down the throat. Interesting sensation. So I still got cheese flavor in the mouth. It's pretty long finishing cheese. I will try some of the beer while that's going on and then get to some more cheese. So cheese, now some beer, and then cheese.
Cheers.
Cheers. Beers chat or cheers?
Cheers.
Oh, those beers chat.
That brought me back the malts already, which is nice. I like that better. Let's try a taste with it in the mouth. Oh yeah, much nicer. Wow, damn, much nicer with the cheese pairing with the beer. I got that malt body and complexion back in the beer. It was almost something that kind of had a brown ale, roasty quality to the malts in that. I got a caramel. I got some of the some of the dark chocolate, the coffee. It made the cheese almost have a really dark, fruity, pungent kick to it, or a dark, fruity flavor to it. There's still the salinity. I'm getting a burn of something. Maybe that's just the blue cheese funkiness as it's going down the throat. It's very warming with the beer pairing. So with the cheese again. So let's do this one more time, I guess.
Cheers.
It's a delayed reaction with the blue cheese funk. Once you swallow that beer, you get more of a creamier texture up front and more of a sweeter flavor from the cheese. And then as you swallow the beer and finish the beer, then that slowly starts to creep up on you in the front of the palate, the cheese funk, and then the back of the palate. I do like that the beer intensity or a bigger, bolder flavor and mouthfeel of the beer ended up being picked up. I didn't get so much of those funky, tart, kind of dark cherry notes from the beer anymore. I really got the beer's flavor. So it really matched. I think the cheese gave the beer the intensity that it really wanted. So very nice pairing. Only problem I would say, which could be a positive to a lot of people, is if you like that funky, tart kick all the way down the palate and down the throat piece from your cheese, that is the one to try. That's kind of like the hot sauce of cheese. It's not really going to be for everybody, and it slowly creeps up on you. But
I'm sorry, the beer itself,
yeah,
you said cherries, chocolate. Was it kind of like a chocolate covered cherry, or did one overpower the other?
I think the cherry note before cheese, just by itself, I think that cherry note
just the beer by itself.
dominated. Yeah, dominated. That cherry note dominated the malt flavor and that chocolate flavor.
Okay.
With the cheese, it brought it all back, which I was happy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Very good stuff.
Thanks, honey.
Yeah, cheese definitely. Well, we'll get to we'll come up with a rating later. I'll let your man do his thing there. So that's my rant so far. There you go.
All right, man, Eric. Cheers, dude. Awesome. Very interesting. Cool. So go ahead and bring myself up. Fusel, Norway. Wow, crazy. Fusel, or however the fuck you say that. No, but sorry, I butchered your name. But yeah, that'd be awesome. I should be salivating right now. Right. Yeah, hanker for a hunk of cheese. Hell yeah. Dude, blue cheese on Garganzola or blue cheese on steak. Good Lord.
Oh,
that sounds good, dude.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
The salty numbing components, the moldy kind of salty.
You said numbing. That's a great way to put that. Numbing. Yeah.
Oh boy, penicillin kind of. Yeah. You are what you eat. Yeah. All right. So on with my shit. So I'm doing a Castello. These guys are out of like New York, I think. No, sorry, Denmark. But they've sent through Basking Ridge, New Jersey. But Castello or Castello aged Havarti cheese is what I got here. And this is what it looks like. Sorry, it's not a super pretty presentation, but you can see it's kind of like a chunky. Oh wait, let's go over the beer first. Let's go over the beer. Sorry, I screwed you all up. So this is the Dunkel from Warsteiner. It's a 4.8, I believe. Is it 4.8? Yeah, Dunkel. And you can see it's got some ruby red, a lot of ruby red, kind of a darker amber look to it, amberish brown color to it. It's see-through. You can see through it. It's just dark. You can see the shadows. Nice tan head, I'd say. More on the tan or even like a darker creamy white. It's holding really good retention. Really nice and malty looking. Maybe a medium. Yeah, it's medium fast, actually. Rising bubble on there. The carbonation, looking at it. Looks really clean, really nice. Yeah. Smell it. Oh, it's so roasty and bready. Really big roasty roast bomb. Of you're getting some chocolates. You're getting a little bit of espresso. Kind of a coffee. Toasted bread crust. Boy, that's nice. That's so malty. No hardcore no like noble hops or anything like that is what I would think would be used in this. Nothing spicy or crazy. It's just very well balanced. Smells clean and crisp. Yeah, nice little lager. Yeah, let's go ahead and drink it. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's not a Guinness. Here, let's turn it around.
German session vlog.
Oh yeah, this is good, man. This is such a good beer, dude. Warsteiner's nice, dude. Last one I had was really dank, dude. It was so good. I forgot what I had, but I think it was a Pilsner or something. It was so good, dude. This is super good. This has that like kind of that Germanic kind of like feel to it, and the yeast, and then like maybe the hops. But you're not really getting. It's just very well balanced between hops and the malts. You're getting that roasted quality big time. That bready, toasty, crumb or toast crust shit on the side of your toast. I can't think right now. No, it's got like a like I was saying in the nose, like a coffee kind of chocolatey kind of feel to it. That roasted, burnt kind of toastiness. Somewhat sweet in the front, dries off in the back. It's a very relaxed kind of. It was showing a lot of carbonation, but it's actually pretty creamy in the mouthfeel. The body's light, but kind of puts off a medium-ish like thing too, just due to like the I don't know. I guess there's a bit of complexity in this, in a way, through all the flavors. It's really easy to take down. Super easy going, very smooth, no alcohol. God, that's good. That tastes like I'm like when I'm brewing beer and I'll taste like some of the malt. You're getting that sweet kind of maltiness. It almost tastes like I'm brewing like a beer or something in the day. It's like, I don't know, it's nice before it gets fermented. I don't know, it's nice. It's really good. All right, so the cheese is a aged Havarti, and this is like Bumpy's, very breakable, easily breakable, doesn't bend. You can tell it's aged. It's got that dry kind of crispiness to it. I don't know if it has any crystals or anything, but smelling it's got a sweet, nutty kind of salty salinity smell to it. Milky, very well balanced tasting or smelling. Excuse me, I haven't tasted it yet. Now we're gonna taste it though. God damn, that smells good.
It's gonna be a good pairing, I think.
I think so, man.
Sounds like it.
It's sweet. It's
Ah.
got kind of a sweet, like dry feel, but a sweetness, a nuttiness,
Sounds like the beer.
just like the beer. It mushes in the mouth quite well. It's actually it's pretty chewable. You can chew it down. It starts to kind of melt in your mouth a little bit,
Not in your hand.
not in your hand.
Good.
There's no crystals like I was saying, but it's got the like a condensed milk kind of milkiness, sweetness with like that salty on the side. So it's got that balance there. Very good. The very nutty cheese. Geez, super nutty. I don't know what kind of nuts. Maybe Brazil nuts or something, or like not peanuts, not walnuts. Maybe almonds or Brazil nuts or some kind of weird thing.
Those
I don't
nuts
Oh,
you get.
nuts.
What kind of nut?
Oh, nuts.
Donuts?
You get
Oh,
you,
no.
you get the sort you can get the assortment of the nuts that you have at
Little pecan, maybe.
what kind of nuts? Like the Brazil nuts.
Maybe they were D's.
The big old Brazil nuts, those donuts.
Or maybe maybe the Hawaiian nut, the
Macadamia nut?
yeah.
Yeah, I can see kind of a macadamia nut. Tropical nut. Oh, nuts.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
Before beer.
Severes.
The tropical nut.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, nuts.
That condensed milk sits around the side. When you drink this down, you're getting that condensed kind of sweetened milk. Nice cow milky kind of taste. The salt's there on the side too, on the side of the cheeks. You get a little of that residing back and on your palate, kind of goes back on the throat. Then you get this like nutty, toasty kind of breadiness that just kind of like soothes over. It goes right over like a river. It just goes over your tongue and down your throat. But you're getting all this cheese on the side, and it's really nice. Oh my God, that's really good, man. That's a really good mixture. I'm glad I decided to go with this. Let's do this just one more time.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah, that's good. No, it all kind of just flows together really perfectly. Very nice. Saltiness kind of fits in there perfectly with the sweet and the nutty and the bready and the toasted, roasted quality of the beer. Very nice. Let's go beer before cheese.
Beer man, do you get any do you get any like slight toffee notes off that beer?
Not a lot of toffee. Maybe a slight caramel, like a lighter, not so much as that burnt like that burnt, but more of a lighter caramel kind of taste maybe. But it's really bready. It's like a wheat bread or some kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I think I like the cheese before the beer better. It's not bad both ways, but I think I like it better. Hold on, I kind of got lost. Let's see.
Must have got low.
I'll take a little piece. The bitter of there's a little more bitter that comes out of the cheese when I do the beer before cheese. Like a bitterness of the cheese or something. Or maybe from the beer. The cheese finally starts to kind of give me flavor. The beer, it's weird because the beer and the cheese act perfectly well, either cheese before beer or beer before cheese. It's like it mixes perfectly regardless. But I think it's more thirst quenching. When you have the cheese, you want to have something to kind of take it down. So it's kind of nice. It kind of works better that way, I think. But they both work really well. This is such a nice dunkel. Definitely try a dunkel with an aged Havarti, and you'll see what I'm saying, man. Yeah, for sure. So good stuff, man. That's all I got. Let's go ahead and let's start this. Let's get back to Bumpy for his thoughts and possible score, or what he thinks of the pairing. So let's do this. Cheers.
Well, I guess I know what kind of beer I'm getting next week. We'll put that system to the test.
Or a Dubel. A Dubel would work, bro.
The beer, the Kettlehead beer, Escalator style double IPA. Aroma's pretty darn good. Flavors not quite there, but wasn't a bad beer. I would say it's good. It's just good. We'll move on. The cheese. This is the cheese, the Welsh cheddar, extra sharp, fantastic. I'm not sure if it's my favorite cheddar, but it's damn near close. I'll have to put that and compare it to like the Irish one there.
Yeah, the Kerrygold Dublin.
Kerrygold.
Oh yeah, right.
I'd have to put them side by side because Kerrygold's been like one of my favorites. So I don't know, like old crock, Kerrygold, and this cheese, this Welsh cheese, probably do like just put them all together just to really see which one kind of stands out the best. But yeah, damn, I'd score this one like it's definitely excellent. It's up there. It's almost perfect. So cheers.
Nice.
And the cheese and the beer went together very well. So very pleased.
Awesome. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Bumpy. Cheers. Right on.
Cheers.
Good for you, bro. All right. Let's go on to Sparkle.
All right. I would say that this Miscellaneous craft beer cheddar, as you can see, it's empty. It's a wonderful mild cheddar. I can see it going with so many things. I can see it going with a fruit plate, an hors d'oeuvre plate with meats, and just with beer. It's very mild, but it's very cohesive for blending. And I would rate this easily at about a 97%. I think it is a wonderful beer. Wonderful cheese to go with several kinds of beer. And I will be testing that. This particular outside your mind, well, I don't feel quite outside my mind, but almost. This was really a surprise to me. And I think it's zestiness and it's, the OJ forward and the mild carbonation, the creaminess. I really enjoyed it. And I think that this particular beer would be a really good, I don't want to say cocktail beer because at 8.3%, I don't know how many you want to drink. But it is a nice fruit forward, fruity, thick mouthfeel, enjoyable beer. And I would probably put this at a good 95. And I'm really picky when it comes to IPAs.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. The pairing I thought was wonderful. Again, I think because of the cheese being the mild cheddar, I think it worked best the cheese first. The other way with the beer first, the cheese just went bing. It just swallowed it all up. So, ironically enough, you would think the opposite, but I think that's how it went. And I would do it again.
Awesome. That's all that matters. I've had that beer before. It was a long time ago, so I'm glad they're making it still.
Yeah.
So, cheers. All right. All right. So let's get we got Dan next. Cheers.
take myself off of mute. So I'll start with the cheese. So the cheese really fit the bill of, I don't know, satiating that kind of dill kind of flavor, right? I've had better Havarti before. So like the quality of the cheese, like it's a good cheese, don't get me wrong. But I'd like to go to like a Wegmans where they have the cheese shop and they got some really nice cheeses there. And I know I've seen some dill Havarti there. I'd like to try that and see how that is, like with a little bit higher quality cheese with the dill, and see how that goes. But either way, like this one right here, like I said when I was talking about it, like if we make a homemade pickle pizza, this is the cheese all day. As far as the beer goes, Rare Voss, otherwise known as Strange Fox, is from Ommegang. They're Belgian amber ale. You can't go wrong with it. You really can't. So for those not familiar with Ommegang out of Cooperstown, they built their foundation, their kingdom, if you will, off of, they are a Belgian-inspired brewery. I know they got really popular when they did a bunch of the Belgian, like Game of Thrones beers, when Game of Thrones was going back in the heyday, right? Yeah, you can't go wrong. It's a very good beer. As it's warmed and everything, it's gotten actually a little bit more citrus and tropical, which combats that bready maltness, and it's very welcomed. Yeah, I mean, out of 5, I'd probably give this beer a good 4 out of 5. This is a really good, just like crusher of a Belgian beer. And if you're getting into Belgian beers, I would say, hey, go buy yourself one of these. You know, like if you like a red ale or like a pub style beer and want to be with a Belgian twist, yeah, this is where you go. Beer and cheese pairing, it's just a bit too much for this actual cheese. I think something lighter, or in this fact, IPA. I did try it with IPA, the cold IPA, because it's more like an India Pale Lager. Worked very well. You kind of got more of the cheese. You know, the beer complemented it, but it's not a complete failure. It didn't make the beer crappy. It didn't make the cheese inedible. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
Awesome. All right, Dan. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and let's get on to Erica. Eric. It's not Erica. It's Eric.
Somebody in the chat inspired me to change the font of my name. I guess we're not really rating the experience, but we're just trying to conclude said experience. I'll do it that way, sure.
Yeah.
No, I definitely went into the beer knowing that this is the last can that I have of this 4-pack, knowing that I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but I was very appreciative that this Danish blue cheese from our Big Y from Denmark. I mean, look how green and blue it is. Holy crap!
Yeah, right.
It is.
Of the blue area, when you started chewing on the cheese, and then you opened it up with one of those pockets, got so tart, and as Beerman said, which makes perfect sense, he said the word numbing. It's exactly what it did. It numbed the back of your throat. It numbed the beginning of your mouth. It gave you a nice salty complexion. Had a nice milky taste to it. And then you can kind of taste it around that pocket of the mold. And then when you get into it, all that penicillin and that funky numbing flavor. And the beer, wow, it's an intense cheese. And the beer, Jesus. Well, the beer by itself is underwhelming. It doesn't really have a robust flavor, too much to it. Not a lot of big punchy malts or chocolates or roasty notes by itself. But I will be damned that the cheese is actually able to bring out all of that roasty flavor, all of the bigger, bolder notes that the beer was missing. The cheese
Nice.
brought it out right until the point where the cheese or the beer dries, and then you get all the numbing flavor of the cheese. So I would totally, maybe not. I'd have to play around with some blue cheese. This one's on the pretty funky side, maybe something like a gorgonzola, or I can go down the range and see what else is a little bit more milder than that. I think for my cheese liking, I think my sharpness maybe gravitates towards cheddars in the sharp department, but I don't know. I haven't. I know I like blue cheese, but I've never had anything quite that intense of a blue cheese. One of the more intense eating experiences I think I've ever had in my life. So cool to do it that way. I think I keep hearing about big stouts and blue cheeses, and they do work together. I confirm that. That was a fun experience. I would definitely try blue cheeses and some bigger beers. I would actually like to do that with like a barley wine. That would be a really cool experience.
Oh yeah.
Cheese in a barley wine.
Yeah,
That would be
Yep.
cool.
definitely.
Cheers to that. Very good experience.
Mm.
Can't
Awesome, man. Thanks, Eric, man. Cheers. All right.
Hey, beer man.
Yeah.
Really quick, I couldn't find this when I was giving my final thoughts, but this is the inspiration of me getting.
Here, let me bring you for
This
a
is the
moment.
pizza.
Oh
we got
my
on
God.
Sunday.
Ew.
Oh my goodness.
That looks so
So-
fucking
Are
good.
they all dill? Are they all dill?
It's a combination of the bread and butter and dill.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, that's
I can
even
do
better.
that. I
So,
can
yeah.
do
They should add those Thai sweet hot ones on there. Oh.
pickle.
Oh,
you know
dude.
what would make that better?
Uh-oh.
If those were all jalapenos instead.
Oh, yeah. You add some heat to it with banana peppers too. Oh my god.
Knowing you, Bumpy, I was gonna say frozen.
And green olives.
Green olives.
Well, yeah, if it was a frozen pizza. Yeah, that'd make
Oh
it
my
better.
gosh.
Oh my! Oh no!
I'm gonna be looking
Yeah,
for
no,
that. I'm gonna
that'd be
request
okay.
that a pickle pizza by a frozen pizza company.
Good luck, Bumpy.
Everyone's agreeing.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I know, and yeah. And a yeah. All right. Well, real quick, as quick as I can do it. The beer was sensational. It was really good. It's got that hardcore Germanic thing going on, as well as the. I mean, you could tell these guys know their beer. I mean, fuck, dude. Ren Hoxkebot, however you say that word, is there. They are definitely, there's no adjuncts. It's straight up beer, hops, water, yeast. Very good and very well made. Toasty, roasty, bready, and nice. Very crisp and clean as well. I would definitely say this is an excellent beer. Trying to kind of stay away from scoring. I'm following suit. I kind of think that's a better way of doing it because it's hard to put a score up sometimes. But it's a very excellent beer. Very good beer. The cheese was by far absolutely amazing on its own. Nutty, sweet, creamy, condensed milk, just very, very rich and very appealing. I want to buy it again. I would love to buy it again and try it with something else, even like an IPA or even a double IPA or a double Westy IPA would be good. Possibly even like a hazy, more bitter hazy. Not so much your New England style hazy IPA, but yeah. So that is definitely a very good beer cheese. Excuse me. An excellent cheese, actually. Together, the pairing, cheese before beer, they both kind of went back to back. Like I liked it both ways. But I like the cheese before beer better though. I thought it was nice. It just, I don't know, it just melded very well together. It came together well. It didn't sound right. It went together well. Jesus Christ. Keep your mind out of the gutter. All right. So anyway, is this set for 21 and over and no kids? No. Anyway.
Except for my kid.
I wasn't going there, beer man. I was staying with the beer and the cheese.
Right. Right. It's big butt. But I'm getting buzzed. Sorry. Nah, it was a good show with this pairing. So I liked it a lot, and I thought it was great. I'll give that a score. I'll actually give that a 95 out of 100 for the pairing. So very good stuff. Bumpy, you get. You and I know what's going on here, but definitely look into the dunkel for sure if you find one.
My fridge.
Yeah, yep. So that's all I got to say. Let's go ahead and let's shut my mouth and go back to the panel here, and let me just kind of move you all around so it's nice and good. We're good. There we go. Go ahead and do some shout outs. I'm gonna turn this ticker off, and starting with Bumpy. Go for it. Shout time.
Oh, son of a bitch.
And YouTube fucked it all up. You can't look up your subscribers anymore, man.
No subscribers.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't see it on the left side. It doesn't show more anymore. It's like, what?
Oh. What?
Okay.
Have you noticed that? I don't know.
No.
It was so easy to find people. Now I can't find anymore.
Yeah. So let's see. Who to shout out this time? Oh, check out 21090. Why not? They started off with the whole beer review thing, home brewing, and all that stuff. Years ago, they were the ones that got me into YouTube. Actually on YouTube, creating a channel because there was a falsity. I had sent them some beers. They shouted me out. They shouted out my channel that didn't exist. And so then I quickly had to create a channel out of the kindness of my heart for them, so that they wouldn't feel like they were, they didn't know what they're talking about. So I created a channel so people could actually check me out. And yeah. And I just went with, I was homebrewing at the time. So, hey, let's do a homebrewing channel. Yeah. And now here we are doing beer reviews and frozen pizza. That's what I do on my channel now. So yeah, 21090. They actually ventured off from doing a lot of beer stuff. I think Todd still homebrews, but
Nice.
They're more on the whiskey and music theme.
Oh, really?
Stuff. Yeah. So they do a lot of lives that either are around whiskey or some type of like glam rock type thing. So yeah, I guess that the winds of change, right? They are live right now, I believe. Actually, Tuesday nights they go live, and then after that, Whiskey Encore we'll do a live stream after their show ends later on tonight as well. So Cheech with Whiskey Encore, check him out as well. He's just a stand-up gentleman, real nice guy. He's invited me on his channel plenty of times, and he shouldn't have. And I wish he didn't, because that I'm usually making a fool of myself. But he keeps letting me back on. Damn it! On my own channel, yeah, I do some beer reviews. I got one scheduled to come out tomorrow because tomorrow's Wednesday, and then I have one scheduled to come out for Friday. So just look forward to those. They are better beers, I can tell you that right now, than my previous probably 3 that I've put out in the past 3. So I get duds sometimes. It just happens over and over again. But these ones are definitely more standout beers. And then I do have a couple frozen pizzas in my freezer that I do hopefully I'll find some time to do one this week. I think the wife's going to be going out with a friend sometime, and maybe then I don't know. I'll be hanging out with John though this week too, so I don't know.
Are you serious?
We'll see if I can get a frozen pizza review in this week or not. If not, then next week. But I try to put one out a week, if not every other week, on those frozen pizzas. So yeah, if you enjoy those, then just stay tuned. I'm still doing them. I mean, I'm going through it. There's a lot of frozen pizzas out there, so yeah, I'll probably be no longer able to do YouTube before I run out of frozen pizzas. So, cheers.
Dude, I come down there in September, man. You should drive down and see John when I go see John.
Yep.
That would be cool, actually.
Make John come down and see us.
Or come see us. Yeah.
Drive up. Yeah, he'll be driving
all the way to Rhode Island. Let's do it. I'll be really down there for him.
Nice, Bumpy. Thanks. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
All right. Mr.
Spark. I'm going to take you to Portsmouth. It will be just like your home.
Yes.
Awesome, dude. All right.
Well, the first thing I want to say about Bumpy, he has saved me some money on which frozen pizzas to buy or not.
Yeah.
So I am really grateful for that. So watch his reviews because they are very enlightening. He is like downright and dirty and tells you what he thinks. So I love that. I love that a lot. I've been watching the craft beer channel, and it's been really great because I can get some reviews on some beers that I've tried and some that I haven't tried. Gives me an idea of what to look for, and so that has been really fun. And on my channel, Art by Sparkle, I just finished the 7 days of Valentine's art and love songs. And it was quite a challenge for me, but it worked out great. I had a great time. I'm going to be doing some different kinds of art, some bigger pieces, and some more abstract type thing, not necessarily paint pouring. So I'm looking forward to that. And other than that, just a shout out to everybody on the panel because I watch you, I love you, and I learn a lot.
We love you too. Thank you. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Dan, Mr. Dan from FLX Beer Reviews. What do you got, man?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to say this has been fun. I'll cherish it while I can because normally I work on Tuesday nights and I can't join. But I had today off, so
awesome.
I took advantage of it. So I don't know when I'll see you again on Tuesday to enjoy some cheese and beer. But
been nice. Yep.
Other than that, shout outs. I would like to shout out Keith over at 93 Lumber. Still one of I don't know, one of the dudes from the beer community that just I don't know. His videos are always unique. They're Keith's videos. He doesn't care about time. He doesn't care about anything. He'll sit there and talk to you half an hour about whatever on camera. He just doesn't care. And he has a really great palate for beer. He enjoys Rausch beers, and it's just he's a good guy. Just doesn't have many subs. Not a lot of people can sit there for a half an hour and just chill with them. But as somebody who's getting into more longer format videos, I get it. So Keith, 93 Lumber, spelled out. Check him out.
He also does liquors.
Yeah, he does some liquors. Just a Buffalo Trace, actually.
Nice.
So yeah, as far as my channel goes, our most recent video, we did other half, 10th anniversary. Well, we'll just call it a shit show. You can tune in to find out why. But we got bamboozled by other half. My heart is crushed. My soul has left my body. I'm forever scorned and scarred. Other than that, yeah, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, our videos. Check us out. Got some long format stuff, short stuff. I don't know. So appreciate you having me on here. Appreciate hanging out with y'all. And
Of course.
cheers.
It's been good having you.
And
Cheers.
I tried watching that video today, but my grandson was here and he wanted to sit on my lap, and he kept hitting buttons on my laptop that would reset the video back to the beginning. And after like the 20th time, I had to shut it down.
Oh,
Fair enough.
So I will watch it eventually.
All right. Well, Dan, thank you. Eric.
Thomas Metal 75.
Yeah.
That's the channel of YouTube, Masters Beer Reviews. I'm sure everybody here and in the chat knows that, but if not, I do primarily beer reviews, whiskey reviews. I gotta start filming some more tequila reviews. I gotta do that. Check for those in 2024. Just more videos in general would be nice. The main bread and butter is the Wild Card Wednesday on Wednesday evenings at 7:30 Eastern time, New York, Boston time. Just bring a beer, wine, or spirit. Any adult beverage. Just don't bring any douchery. Check your baggage at the claim before you come into the door on that program. That's all I ask. That's just a good old-fashioned fun time. If you want some more good old-fashioned fun times, you go catch our main man over in Northern Ireland, over in Belfast, named Captain Bampton. He does a lot of live review, or not reviews, but he does a lot of live programs called 20 Questions Plus One. I think some of us were on that. I was on that at one point. Tanner's supposed to be on that. He keeps having to reschedule that with Captain. But it is just a fun little Q&A with him, with a lot of people in the, either we met them through the beer community or we met them through our other buddy named Thrash Life. Go check him out as well. And for shits and giggles, because I haven't watched this guy very much recently, I've been trying to get back into him somewhat, is Jerry Fort, the beer review guy. Why the heck?
Right.
With the J Terrio crew, like some of us did in doing the beer reviews. He still does some beer reviews, but he reviews anything that's basically pre-packaged or any kind of food or sodas. And if you type in a chat to a recent review, hey, how about you do this? He may try to find it, and then he'll shout you out. So
Right.
really honest to God, down to earth person that none of it's pre-scripted, and he's telling you exactly what he thinks as he's doing it. So good channels and good times on the Beerman channel of YouTube here. Thank you, sir.
Oh, dude, thank you, man. Thank you. Cheers, man.
yes.
All right, cool. Man, I'm actually gonna shout out Hopped Up Beer Review, man. Check him out. He just showed up. Dude, needs some love. Go get him some subscribers. Just subscribe to this guy, man. Let's get him going.
Ben, Andy, and Jay.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's their names. Don't wear it out.
I am subscribed to them.
They also have a Discord if you want to join. I'm sure it's in their link.
Their last one, it looks like they had a panel thing. Their Post Road Pumpkin Ale by Brooklyn Brewery, 5%. Then they did Loyal Lager before that by Yards Brewing Company, 5%. So they have,
they're on the
stuff.
east. They're
On the east, yeah.
East. So.
Yep.
Alabama,
Cool.
I think.
Yeah, they have beers. They have beers that maybe I could possibly get.
Right. And even though I cannot get them, not even possibly, I still like to watch stuff. So one day we'll get them. But I also want to shout out Finru Home Brewing out of New Zealand. He's been on a hiatus for a while. I think he was on a trip or something, or like 2 or 3 month trip. But he hopefully he'll be back to show the world what he's made of. I know he was talking about distilling and getting into that world. So maybe we'll see something like that coming soon from him. Good old Mart. Very good dude. So go check him out. As far as my channel goes, Beer and Cheese Tuesday is always open panel. So anyone's welcome as long as you have the 2 components. Every second week of the month, I started a new thing where we're gonna do an open any alcohol and cheese. So just bring your cheese.
Ooh.
Bring any alcohol. It could
It's
be a mixed. You can bring liquor. You can bring a mixed drink. You can bring wine. Whatever.
Wow.
Kombucha even has alcohol in it a little bit. So if you wanted to do that, that's fine too. I think they have hard kombuchas as well, like super hard kombuchas. But and it's healthy for you. No, but yeah. So we'll do that, and then tomorrow will be definitely going on. Valentine's Day kind of screwed some things up last week, but all spun out at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock my time Pacific. Everyone gets three adjectives thrown their way on a wheel, and they go find a beer, and they come back the next week, and we review it in the beginning. And don't show your ABV because we always guess everyone's ABV in the middle of the program, and then we roll the wheel again, and then we do our shout outs, and we end the show, and then we go to Eric's channel after that.
We call the Wednesday nights.
Eric's or Therio also goes at the same time, so I'll mention both of you guys. But yeah, so Ron J Therio, and then Thomas Metal 75 on Wednesday at usually 4:30, 7:30 your time on the East. But yeah, so I don't have anything going right now. I do have something going. I have this IPA, this Westie. It's still going a little bit. It's almost dying down. It's almost ready for a terminal gravity reading, and then a little diacetyl rest and racking into the keg. But this is for Bill. That was the Babu, named after the crows that he feeds and stuff. He floated me some cash, and I made a beer for in his name. So we also have the Kolsch that's coming along. It's a little doughy and weird, but I think it'll come along in the end. We got about 3 more weeks, so I'm going to be patient and just see what's going on with that Kolsch. So yeah, never brewed one before, so that's why I'm worried about the flavor, but we'll see. I'm gonna send it anyway in case you guys want to see any off flavors. If there is, fuck it. Not gonna waste the money. I don't have any beer reviews really coming up or anything like that. I am gonna go into doing non-lives and putting edited streams together because my mom's passed away. My wife. my wife's dad, my father-in-law, wanted to see more instructionals on how to actually see how the process is. So I'm going to start editing some brew days, and the next one will be a vanilla oatmeal stout, and I'm thinking about maybe putting raspberry in it or something, or something, peak it up a bit with some flavors. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think the nice little 20-minute edited version of some review or some brew days would be really nice to see. So grain to glass. Yeah, so look out for that. Cheers to everyone. First of all, on the chat side, on the community side of it all, you guys rock. Dude, we were like 15,000 strong. 15's good. That's a good number, and I'm very glad to see all you guys pop in and all that stuff. So cheers. I'm not going to name everyone, but you know who you are, and we really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to these guys on the panel and gal on the panel. I want to say thank you, and I welcome you next week if you want to show up and can. But cheers to you, Bumpy Roll Brews, Art by Sparkle, FLX Beer Reviews, and Thomas Metal 75 Massachusetts Beer Reviews. Cheers, man. You guys rock. We're out of here. We're gonna go just about now. You guys have a good night, day, wherever you're from in this beautiful world. And if you have one, not after one more sip. Cheers.
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 I'm gonna post the link real quick. Sorry, keep sipping. Shit. Keep sipping. Keep it going. All right. There we go. Oh. All right, bye.